Well, hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to our Kerbal Space Program Let's Play. Now, if things look a little bit different, we're in full screen mode. We don't use this mode very often, but I wanted to start the stream by thanking my Viewer Plus subscribers, because I'm using a new camera. I was using a Logitech 910. It wasn't great, and now you are seeing me in much better image quality. I was able to repurpose an old DSLR camera, and thanks to the Viewer Plus subscribers, I was able to buy a light for it for £7, and the actual what's it called? The thing that allows you to take the signal from the camera to the computer. The capture card, the external USB capture card, cost about £10. So for a grand total of £17, we have a brand new image quality, which is far beyond what it was like. Brandon says, "Is it mirrored like other webcams?" Mirrored's optional. You can mirror. I could mirror this right now if I wanted to. I think. I can mirror myself vertically even. There you go. We could just have it like that. I could just hang from the ceiling. Now we won't use this mode all the time, but I just wanted to just take a quick moment at the beginning of this stream to thank the Viewer Plus subscribers, because without their support I wouldn't have the income to be able to make these small improvements to bring better content to you. Brandon says, "I know most webcams default to mirrored, so you can read text." That's interesting. I've never thought about the fact it's so you can read text. But whenever I see either a phone or a camera or anything mirrored, I always turn it off. And it's noticeably better quality. Yes, I did spend a while playing around with the settings, getting the right white balance and all that sort of stuff. If anybody's interested, it is a Nikon. I'm putting my hand in front of the light so I can see the camera. D7100 with a Sigma 2.8 lens. So we're actually running that camera with an aperture of 2.8, an ISO of 500, and it's feeding straight into a capture card via a mini HDMI to HDMI cable. I'll put more details on my website. I'm going to update my website sometime soon with the kit and stuff that I use. Most of it's good. Is it smoother? Cool. Okay. I mean, I can make it smoother than what it is now. I'm waving my hand so you can see the blur. So I've done it so that there is a little bit of motion blur. If you cut down on the blur, that is the shutter angle, I believe. And if you do that, you need more light. And I'm already nearly being blinded by the light that's coming at me. So there we go. I just wanted to say that at the beginning before we crack on with some Kerbal. But before we do our missions for this time, let's have a look at last time. Now, I must apologise. I haven't prepped the video. Jackamak has sent it to me. So if you bear me a second. The TP3S. Right, there we go. I've managed to get rid, or at least cut, the old one. And then I will repoint it to the new one. And hopefully, here we go. We have not lost a Kerbal this series so far, and I really, really don't want to lose one yet. We're taking Kerbals to the moon in a brand new moon base. In 3, 2, 1. There we go. We're going to probably come into this crater, to be honest. It's a nice place to be. We could probably do the final landing of this on RCS. At 10 kilometers up, I'm going to start the burn, or 11. Let's be safe, 11. There we go. Okay, how are we doing? Not too bad. I think a lot of our momentum is now coming towards the downward sections. Engines off. Decouple. Now. 3 kilometers up. The nodes are not on perfectly. Oh no, it's making it worse. Oh my goodness, this is not going to work, is it? No! Come on, come on, come on. No! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I had next to no control over that. That was horrible. Absolutely horrible. So there we go, folks. We lost 3 Kerbals last time, and in honour of those who were lost, some of the crew have planted a flag for each of them. They've been named after each of the lost crew members. So we have a reminder of those who have fallen in pursuit of exploration and money. Yeah, the t-shirt choice was quite good. I actually had a t-shirt ready for tonight, and then I realised it was an open TTD t-shirt, so I've just gone with the plain blue. Maybe I need to go to hellishstore.net and get a new one. I think I do. So there we go. With that, we're going to get Sixer back in our test rover, because we haven't got a proper rover really yet. This is a test vehicle. It's for proof of concepts and messing around with science and things. We do need to do a proper rover at some point. But let's have a look. Are you stuck? Oh my goodness. Get on the rover. Like, okay, I did technically say get on the rover. Oh well, never mind. We'll just recover. Can we recover? We can't recover while he's on the rover. There we go. You'd love to see that a rover. You'd love to see a rover on a mission. Yes, I'd like to do a rover. The problem is, bear with me a second. Did they get the? No, there we go. Test rover, recover. There we go. So we've got some flags down there at the astronaut complex. We will do rover stuff, but I want the better tyres before we go for it. Okay, so if we go out to the astronaut complex, since last time we've done a couple of lunchtime streams where we've rescued some Kerbals, and me and my daughter sat down over a couple of sessions and did some rockets. She likes to play with the rockets, and she likes to do the staging and hit max throttle for me. She presses a lot of the buttons, and we saved 3 Kerbals, just me and my daughter. So now the roster has been extended. We have our original, or what's left of our original crew. We've got Sixer as a pilot, Nudger as an engineer, Brandon as a scientist, but then we've also got Real Fella as a scientist, Network 17 as a scientist, EX0 as a pilot, Jesse Kaboom as an engineer, Jay Bayman as a scientist, and Jack Ogled as a pilot. So thank you very much for all of you being Viewer Plus subscribers. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, you keep this thing going, and thank you very much also to Astron as well. Okie dokie. What are we going to do? Yeah, we did go around the Space Center. We did with the rover. We will do more rovering around the Space Center. So, right. What I've done is I've sent a new moon base to the moon, ready to land. So we're going to try and do it again. We're going to try and do it differently though. First difference, nobody's on board. We're not actually going to have anybody on board while this thing comes down. It's too dangerous. Secondly, we're not using the side rocket pods to lower it down. We're actually going to use the TR9 second stage and just bring it down on its end, and then use the RCS to land it. So that's what we're going to do now. We'll extend the landing legs and we'll get ready. We'll get ready to come down. So let's look at this. We've got quite a lot of sunlight time. There's also another second stage of the TR9 still in orbit, but oh well. We haven't got a massive amount of fuel left on this vessel, but we've got enough. So it would be nice if we can land in the sunlight. I think actually we should bring our periapsis down maybe. I don't really want to land over here next to the Psi station or next to this flag. We're gonna do a brand new place to land. Okay, so let's do this. So full throttle. At least if I make any mistakes, nobody's going to die this time. So we're just going to do this enough to bring us down into the middle, or somewhat into the middle of this crater. I've not turned SAS on yet. And I kind of want to get us a little bit more in the middle. So let's see, what's the anti-normal going to give us? Nope, the wrong thing. So if we do the normal, we'll head to the middle of this crater. Then this crater can kind of be our spotting point for kind of where our base is and where we need to land our future missions. So here we go. Yeah, I think that's going to get us almost completely in the middle. Right then. So hopefully this is going to land on its end. The bottom stage may not survive the landing. I mean, these engines certainly won't, I don't think, because for some reason on this version of the TR9, the engines are half inside this fuel tank. Don't know why, not sure what happened, but that's the situation. So at 29 kilometers, I'm just going to speed things up a little bit. There we are, we've just got past the centre, so I'm going to full retrograde burn now. Try and just like arrest our sideways momentum as much as possible, so that all we're doing is going down. Okay, we've done that. We've still got 550 meters per second of fuel there to be able to do anything else. It's a relatively low amount of fuel compared to how much fuel this had before we brought it towards the planet, at the moon. Now, how close to the middle are we? Okay, so we're a little off center with the middle, but that's not too much of a problem. So I think we can probably afford to get down to about, I'd say probably 2 kilometers. And then we can start bleeding off this speed. It does look like we're going to kind of land in the side of this crater. I'm going to try and stop that from happening. Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to start bringing us down slower now. We're coming down a bit quickly. 700. Okay, I think we've got control of this. We are on the edge of a... I'd rather be over there, but I'm going to deal with that later. Okay. Coming to 400 meters, and we're coming down at 15 meters per second. Plenty of fuel. We could almost hover this, actually. Which I'm going to do. And I'm going to try and get us over here onto this flat area. There we go. Just going to give us a little boost in the other direction. Just to readjust where we're going to land, because we're in the big crater, but I don't want to be in one of the little craters in the big crater. I want to be in the flats of the big crater. So I'm just hoping I've left myself enough delta V to be able to land this safely. Have I blasted myself too far? Probably. Oh, that was too much of a blast. Never mind. Still probably going to land it. We're on our way back down now. So as we're on our way back down, I can use the retrograde. And we can start just doing some burning. Stop us from going sideways too much. Like I said, if we come down with a hard landing, we'll probably be okay. Right, I'm going to announce how much meters per second of fuel we've got left. 160. I think we might run out of fuel. Yeah, we are low on fuel. I did a bigger burst than what I was hoping. But we're 1,000 up. Coming down at 44 meters per second. I think we might be alright. 500 meters to go. Gonna just... The flight stick isn't responding, so I had to revert to keyboard. Not quite sure what that was about. Well, some of it landed. Right. I don't know why my joystick stopped working. What did we lose? We lost 1 RCS port, 2 solar panels, and the lander. And the communications. Oh, what? Okay, I think the joystick doesn't have any force feedback. I've got no control. For some reason it's not working. So what I will do is we will take a quick be right back, and we'll do this again as quickly as I can. I'm going to try replugging in the joystick. I'll be right back. This is the captain's room. Ah, I'm on fire.
Oh, no.
Oh, you Wally.
The boat exploded.
Yeah, Shadow walked right into a creeper.
What is
There's a skeleton in an elytra.
Yeah.
Why me?
You blew the doors off my bedroom.
Why me?
Oh, she's. Oh! Okay, it was a little bit sideways. And I accidentally turned on the lights. But we're down. Okay. I mean, the... Whoa. I mean, it was certainly impressive. Right. This is ridiculous, but that was interesting. You know what? It did better when it was all one base. And then, in theory, we should be heading almost straight back to where we need to be. Yes, we are. Right, how close can we get this? Here we go, here we go, here we go. And now! Wow, that building is pretty tough. No! Come on, come on, come on. No! Oh my goodness. Right then, folks. I'm just struggling to get the stick to work at the moment. Not quite sure. Daniel says I'm getting the G940 flight system. I would love a G940 flight system. But the one I've got, the stick that I've got here is quite good. I'm just going to quickly, I know you guys can't see, but there's no point in going backwards and forwards. I'm going to quickly put Sixer and Nudger on the runway in an airplane and just see if the stick now starts responding. Yes, it is working now. Right, okay, so recover vessel. I almost feel like because it was a technical issue, I should revert that previous flight, but it's too late for me to do that now. And I don't know if I saved it, actually, the vessel that we sent. No. Eagle 3 moon lander. No. We're gonna have to rebuild that bit. So if we get the what is now called, right, okay, this is what I was going to tell you guys after we landed it. I've renamed the TR9. Do you have a saved game? Yeah, but I'm not sure exactly what saves were out there. I mean, I didn't do a quick save or anything because I'm not. I mean, it's just. Yeah, I have no idea. I've got some saves from some episodes in case we have like a technical failure, but we'll just have to do that again quickly. Anyway, like I was saying, the TR9 has now been christened into a new vessel. I've changed the colour of the tanks and it's called the Buzzard 5. So we're going to put the moon base, which I've still got, on top of the Buzzard 5. There we go. We'll retract that. We'll put a load of structural stuff in there. And of course we'll do it so there's lots of them. And we'll actually try and land it in one piece with a joystick which is working. Yeah, Buzzard. So this is the Buzzard 5, and now this is going to be the Buzzard 5 with the pod on. The weird thing here is these legs need to be in. Start retracted, start retracted. Right, let's do the fairing. So I think we can get away with. It's been a bit snappy. I think I can oh my goodness! I didn't mean to do that. There we go. There. Oh, come on. Did I get that? Yep. Oh my goodness. See, this is how I got it there. So instead of it being a TR9, it's now the Buzzard 5. We've flown it enough times. TR9 was Test Rocket 9. Now it's the Buzzard 5. It's called the Buzzard 5 because it's got 5 nozzles on the bottom of the Buzzard. So let's get this to the moon and sort it out and land it properly. And then we've got so many other things we've got to do. Loads and loads of other things. Okay, first thing we're going to do is wait until sunrise. And we're going to fly this to the moon. It should be a relatively straightforward thing to do. But let's see. So, SAS on, throttle to maximum, off to the moon with a moon base we go. Yeah, I'm going to keep the bird theme. Yeah, I've actually got some more to show you as well after this. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and we're up. Oh, here come all the hellish points coming in. So the Viewer Plus people get a bonus 50 hellish points every single day. Yeah, the points did come on the stream. That's not good. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop that, so we'll see. I'll look at that in the future. So we're throttling down as we're going through the thicker parts of the atmosphere. You can see the atmospheric effects going on the rocket there. Once we go past about 300 meters per second, it gets quite draggy. But as we get higher up in the atmosphere, that doesn't become so much of a problem. And now we're nearly 15 kilometers up. I'm going to bring the rocket onto its side a little. Bring the power up. And we're going to get rid of those side boosters now. Okay, we had a small explosion. But the rocket seems fine. Don't know what, I think it was just some of the solid rocket boosters bashing into each other. Okay. Yeah, there's ways I think you can discount certain things from the stream chat. So if anybody's wondering, over the last couple of streams, we're actually running a brand new chat system. We're running a brand new multi-stream system. The previous one, when we were doing the Minecraft Last Days, was causing way too many problems. And we've had a lot of problems in the past with that, and I've basically had enough. So we've moved to a different provider. So here we go. The first stage is nearly out of fuel. And now we're high enough in the atmosphere, I'm going to trigger the deployment of the fairing. There it goes. And I'm also going to extend the solar arrays and the antenna. There we go. So the first stage is nearly finished its burn. So we're about to ditch that and go straight onto the burn for the second stage. Here we go. We nearly make orbit with this craft without needing to light up the second stage. So getting ready to throttle that down as soon as we're in an orbit. I mean, we are already in an orbit, but where's the moon? Moon's there. Okay. Hopefully we can get to the moon quite quickly. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? So we're just going to wait for the ship to flip round and do a prograde burn. Just to bring our periapsis up high enough. That's the only reason. Then we'll get into the right place to do our transfer burn. Then we'll do our circularization of the moon. Landing burn and landing. Or I should say re-entry burn. Okay, that'll do. Okay, let's get to the moon and let's get to the moon fast. So I think about here. So just to go on record, that failure there was like 90% because I had control failure here with my equipment, which is a little bit of a shame. Because we were doing really well up until that point. But we're about ready to burn to the moon. Here we go. Oh dear, I feel like I need to sit back a little bit. It is very warm in here. I'm going to put one of my fans on me. It sometimes puts a little bit of buffeting on the microphone with the airflow, but hopefully you guys won't pick up on that and it'll be alright. And the rocket engines won't be too loud. So the plan today is to put the moon base down and also send at least one Kerbal to that moon base. And complete some other missions. And also I want to show you the new craft that I made. Because our TR9 is now called the Buzzard 5. And I also designed not only the Buzzard 5, but I made the Buzzard 5 Heavy. And the Buzzard 5 Heavy can lift 41 tons into Kerbin orbit. "41 tons into Kerbin orbit." There we go. So now our craft is flying towards the moon. It's in the moon's sphere of influence. We're going to just check power and stuff. Looks like we're good. We're actually still getting a little bit of solar charge. Fantastic. We've got plenty of fuel at the moment. Let's do a retrograde burn. And we can see that the person with the most hellish points right now is Jackamak, closely followed by Wizard Brandon. Bear in mind, you can buy half price off Viewer Plus with I think it's about 5,000 points. So here we go. This is our circularization around the moon burn. So we're doing a retrograde burn, and we want to be landing on the sunny side here. If nothing else, so that we can see what we're doing. Just watch our periapsis doesn't get too low. And then whereabouts on the surface do we want to start our moon base? We have, like I said, a science. We've got a flag over here. I mean, it might be nice to put our base near that flag. We've got that science station, which we'll get rid of at some point. We've got the crashed moon base. Preferably on the moon. Yes, Brandon, that is a good point. Should we aim for this flag? We're going to aim for the flag. So to aim for that flag, we want to at least fly over it. So let's do a little maneuver. I always get the normal and the anti-normal mixed up. Every single time. No, that's the wrong one. So hopefully we'll get this base landed on the moon quite easily, and then we'll be able to put a lander close enough to this flag. What I'd like to be able to do is add parts to the base. I think one of the things we're going to need to do to be able to add parts to the base is we're going to need a moon buggy that can drag base components around or something like that. Maybe we can lift them about with the RCS. I don't know. We'll have to see. Right. There we go. That looks about right. So then I think we need to walk to about there and do more retrograde. Do the opposite to what I think. Okay, for some reason we just shot past that marker, but never mind. Let's turn the RCS on for a moment. I don't want to use too much because RCS is meant for surface maneuvering. Alright, here we go, here we go. This is our the beginning of our re-entry burn. And we want to go until we're about, I think, probably about here. Okay, this time I think we're coming in with even more fuel than last time. Last time I'm sure we would have made it because we actually got close, jumped, got close and then just banged the bottom of the rocket. You see, look, in this version of the rocket I fixed the boosters on the bottom. They're now pointing the right way. We're 20 kilometers up. There's our target. So we want to be at least relatively close to that target. We don't have to be right near it. We'll just use that flag as a starting point. And I think once we've gently touched down on the engines, the idea is just to flop the moon base over gently. Let's extend all the landing legs just in case. There we go. Okay. Let's get rid of some of this sideways momentum. Looks like we're going to not go directly over it, but we're going to go close. This area here is actually a relatively good place to land. So I'm quite happy with that. As soon as we're over this, we're going to start pushing ourselves. There we go. That's quite good actually. I'm happy with that. Okay. Let's start burning to bring this thing down. Bearing in mind I'm going to be trying to bring it down on its end. So we've still got 10, is it 10 kilometers to go? 7 kilometers to go. You must remember to set the height to land level. This area here looks really flat. Good area to come down in. I'm going to try and keep the speed at roughly 100 meters per second as we come down. No parachutes, just one set of engines. 5 kilometers. Still coming down at about 100 meters per second. Very happy with this choice of landing spot, actually. 4 kilometers to go. Now that's 3 kilometers. Now once we get to 2 kilometers, I'm going to bring it down to 50 meters per second. Might even just start doing that now, just so that we can do it smoothly. There we go. Now I think about 20 meters per second might be appropriate. There we go, coming in good. We're coming in at about 12 meters per second, which is a little bit slow. We've still got a kilometer to go. We're going to end up burning a lot of fuel. It says I'm streaming Minecraft. It shouldn't. I'll have to speak to Restream about that. Okay, so we're coming in at a nice... That's a brilliant time to tell me that, Brandon. What can I do about that right now? Timing. Okay, we're under a kilometer now. It's smooth, but it's not perfectly flat. There is a slight slope. I can see our shadow. We're coming up to 500 meters. So I'm going to just decrease our velocity to about 10 meters per second. Just slight adjustments. There we go, 10 meters per second. And as we get to the surface, I'm going to turn the RCS on. We actually slowed down a little bit too much then. So for the last 100 meters or so, I'm going to try and do this without accidentally turning the SAS off. There we go. So we've got RCS enabled now. Slowing down for the last 100 meters. About 5 meters per second. We can land on this engine at about 3 meters per second. That's not a problem. 30. 20. Okay, so the RCS now is trying to keep us up. I'm going to use the RCS to turn us round onto the landing legs. That is what I wanted to do last time. And we'll turn the RCS off. We will undock here. And now we have this base. I wonder if I can... Like, the reaction wheels aren't enough to... No. I could probably push the moon base around a little bit with this. But this is now the moon base. It should be all good. We'll get some of the solar... We'll get all the solar panels up. I don't see any reason not to have the solar panels extended. And I'm just wondering if we put this... If I turn the RCS on, can I like hop it? No, the RCS isn't quite strong enough to do the burn to make it go somewhere. It was just enough to bring it down perfectly. It does need a little more power. I was going to try and push it to the side. Just out the way of this. Maybe if I do like up and sidewards, it will help. Just to bring it out the way. So this is why I put RCS on it, for fine manoeuvrings. There we go. That should do it. We have a moon base. We're on a slight slope, but I think once we get the ability to make a rover that can drag these things around, that'll be good. Now, we need to dispose of this. So let's there we go. There's nothing useful on this. It slide to the left. Yes, very much so. I don't think I'll be able to get this into the air. Yeah, I was very careful there, Egg. So let's see if we can either make a massive explosion or maybe even get this into the air. I mean, I suppose we could use this lip, but let's see what happens. Oh no, the engine fell off. Oh, we got a ring. It looks like it's floating because it's falling roughly at the same speed as... If we turn the SAS off, it should start spinning. Everything fell off. Oh, there we go. We've disposed of it. But here we go. Moonbase. Let's turn the RCS off and the SAS off. We've got some Mollin repellent. We've got electrical charge. It doesn't have an antenna. It doesn't have an antenna. Where's the antenna? Oh my... Right, we're doing this another time. I definitely had an antenna on that the first time I built it. I'm really annoyed about that. Never mind. Nothing we can do. So that's the Buzzard 5. So let's have a look at the Buzzard 5 Heavy. Yep. That's the Buzzard 5 Heavy. The passenger one you send must have one on when you connect them. The weird thing is, Brandon, is that there was an antenna on the second stage. I don't know. The outpost also must be fully assembled when launched. So I'll do that between streams. I'll go launch a second outpost, and maybe we'll even connect them together. But this is the Buzzard 5 Heavy. This can lift a lot. And before I do anything else, I'm going to get that pod base. I'm going to put the antenna back on it. That's how it should be. Why it's not like that, I have no idea. I did that previously, and well, there we go. So we'll have to send the pod base another time. If we go over to the vehicle building, we can actually see that I've renamed the first ship, the first plane. This is now called the Blackbird. Now I can't remember if we renamed this already, but I have done now. And the vessel we had last time is the Kestrel now. So I've renamed it. We've got a Kestrel. This is a fantastic aeroplane. Absolutely fantastic. But we can complete some of the contracts. We're going to go plant a flag on the moon. And then we'll probably do some other ones as well. Let's bosh some missions out after that. So what we've got plant flag on moon. We'll do that. Science data from the surface of the moon. We can do that. We can do that right away. Rescue, test heat shield, scans. Okay. We've got loads of money. Actually, how much science have we got? We've got 182 science. We've actually got enough science to unlock something else. What shall we unlock? Can you paint the plane black? I don't think you can. Not without mods. Oh, we can get the mobile processing lab. That sounds like a good idea. If we get the mobile processing lab, we can make that a module and put that in orbit of the moon. Or something, maybe. And we also get the mobility enhancer, which we need. Container module. What's that? Wide variety of equipment. Okay. Fuel cylinders. Scanning arms. More mobility enhancers. Right, yep, we're going to research that. That's going to be fantastic. I do want these better wheels before we send her over, though. So, let's do the science from surface of the moon. And we can do that with... Oh, hang on a minute. We've got... Why have we got a... We've got several different bits of moon bases all over the surface now. And debris. I'll clean that up. But... We've got moon size station. So if we fly that... I don't know how much electrical charge we're going to have on it, though. Not a lot. Whereabouts is it on the surface? Oh, it's near sunrise. Let's fast forward a little. Just enough. Are we going to get the sun peaking yet? There we go. Now we've got full power. We can just log the temperature. Log temperature and transmit that. Done, and then that's that contract complete. Brilliant. Nice, easy bit of science from the surface there. We'll send a science station. Now the question is, do we put our lab on the surface of the moon, or do we put it in orbit of the moon and make a space station? Well, first things first, I think we should put a lab on our space station that's going around Kerbin. I don't know if we still have the space station core saved. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, space station part 1. Both. So this is the part 1 of our space station. It's got the core segment here, living quarters and connection nodes. It's a bit bendy. But we can take that to the moon. We might even be able to take it to the moon on an Eagle, on a Buzzard 5 Heavy. I mean, we don't need that much fuel on the second stage, so you can... where are we controlling it from? So we can pretty much just probably chop that out. And then put the other bit on top. Where's it gone? Space Station Part 1. Merge. What we will need is a fairing though, so take that off. Fairing, payload, aerodynamics, thermal. Is it payload? Mahusive fairing? Pop that on top. Where's that gone? There it is. Plop. And then we'll give it some stability, some structural. Otherwise it's going to wobble around like crazy. Oh, it probably is going to wobble around like crazy anyway. So fairing can come like this, like that, Okay, so this is going to the moon, right? Wow, it doesn't even fit. That's full zoom out. Now, use struts. I've got some struts on there. This is a highly experimental rocket, and I have no idea at all whether I'll be able to get this to the moon. But it'd be nice if we did start a space station around the moon. So let's give it a go. Let's just check everything here. So we've got an engine at the very end there. Deploy. Yep, that's all good. Side connections. Yep. Okay. Well, it looks all right. Just double checking there's nobody on board. We don't want anybody on board when we're making a space station. You send them up in a transport afterwards. That could go to Duna, maybe, but I fly terribly, so I don't know. Right, we can zoom out a little bit more here. We're going to warp to daytime so that we get the solar power. We're going to turn SAS on, throttle to maximum, wait for it to stop wobbling around. And this is, like I said, a big experiment. If this works in one go, I will be surprised. So come with me on this journey, and we'll see what happens. There's a Space Engineers is getting a DLC called Heavy Industry. Okay, maybe we could check it out. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, launch. Okay, it went upwards. That's a good start. Oh my goodness, there's so much power in this. We're not lifting nowhere near as much as what this rocket is capable of, I don't think. We may even be able to keep the second stage attached to the space station for a while to supply refueling. I would love to do refueling missions. And we're getting a little bit of rotation on this, which we don't want. Whoa! Yeah, this isn't very stable. That was an interesting test. I mean, we might even be able to keep this. Let's keep going. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's spinning. Spinning seems like a good idea. Let's make it spin faster. Here we go. Here we go. That sort of worked. I mean, it's facing the wrong. Oh, it's going to. No, it's not going good. That could comfortably go to low Duna orbit. It's not even getting out of our orbit. It is unwieldy. It needs some refinement. I'm not sure if it's because of the big massive space station that's on the top of it or not. Let's see if we can land this. So let's fast forward a little bit. Oh, it's going a bit wobbly. I mean, hopefully, if we twist this, let's put some bit of power into it, put the craft like this, with a little bit of retrograde, we may be able to recover some of it. Because this is a costly aircraft to launch. There we go. So the aerodynamic drag is going to do a lot of the job of slowing us down. Five kilometers up. I don't think we're going to stop it in time. Nah, we're not. This is going to be a big plop. Okay. Okay. Let's see about refining this design. It's certainly a good start until things started moving and going really wayward. Let's recover the debris. How can this be? I mean, obviously it's got a lot of wobble on it. What if we try and reduce wobble with just some struts? So we can do anti-wobble struts up to here, like, oh, okay, that's only on one side. So if we do anti-wobble struts up to here like this, we may even be able to do some on the noses here of these, just to keep things a little bit more stable, because I think as a general rule I could use fins. I think as a general rule we're not doing too bad for it. I mean, a winglet, we could put a few winglets on just to try and keep it flying a bit more true. I mean, I suppose I could put side winglet, and then like a standard winglet there, just to give it a bit more stability. So we've got a little bit more anti-wobble, a little bit more stability. If we can get to the moon, we'll have the same space station at the moon as we'll have at Kerbin, which would be nice. So let's give it a go. Let's give it another try. So this is the heavy version, second attempt. If we're successful, we'll end up with a space station around the moon. Yeah. Okay, so fingers crossed, folks, and here we go. This is wobbling a lot less than the last one already, but let's see if that makes a big difference. In 3, 2, 1. I mean, that bit looks okay at the moment. It did start to veer off course, and I tried to drag it back, and that's when it all went wrong. But for now, that's pretty good. Yeah, this will probably work. Here we go. So I'm actually going to throttle down. We're getting a lot of aerodynamic drag, but we're still increasing our velocity. What happens when you detach the boosters with struts attached? When you detach a part that has a strut, the strut automatically disconnects. So I'm going to attempt to bring it over now. I'm going to put myself back onto full throttle though, because we're getting quite high now. Yep, let's put a spin to get rid of those side boosters. No! Oh, failure. Let me... Mike's here. Hey, Halish, how you doing today? My heart's always in my mouth when you rotate. Yeah, we were rotating a bit too fast. You're starting to enjoy your Tuesday night KSP. Well, you're welcome. It's not going great at the moment, although we've made space. So if we can get this, so I'm going to turn the RCS on and point this prograde. I don't know if I'm going to stop this from spinning. Maybe if I turn off all these side engines. I can stop it from spinning. There we go. So now we just need to go sideways very fast. But I've lost track of which way we're supposed to be going. Okay. I mean, we're not at our apogee yet. I mean, the weight distribution's not right. Okay, I think I've managed to stabilise the craft. If this gets to the moon, I will be very surprised. But we have got a lot of fuel on this thing. Okay, let's open up all the different like antennas and solar panels. Max power. Let's just go sideways as fast as we can and see what we can do. I'm not going for orbit, I'm going for the moon. I'm still shooting for the moon. We've got loads of fuel on this. I'm going to turn off the RCS because I don't think we need it. Now we did lose... Oh, hang on, wrong button. So I should be able... Is it Alt? To constantly fill up the fuel tanks with the side tanks. And if I can do that, I might be able to keep this thing flying. It's not been the smoothest recovery ever. Okay, let's see if we can... Oh, whoa, what's going on? It's going a bit wobbly. So... just keep feeding the fuel from the side boosters into the main tank. We can keep this thing flying forever. Maybe. Okay, so that tank's empty. Just emptying the tanks here. Just getting more and more fuel. We're doing it! We're doing it! I can't believe it. It's actually getting to orbit. Okay, so that's two side tanks that are empty. We've got all these tanks down here to empty out as well. I just don't know if we're going to be able to empty them fast enough. We've got to be quick here. Keep it flying in the right direction. Looks like that side tank is actually out. So this tank isn't actually full of fuel. Oh, oh! I need to be careful of what I'm doing at the same time. Right, so in and in. So we're filling up as much as this section as possible. You want to build and launch your own model rocket with actual side boosters? Well, that's you know, that would be a big challenge, but I bet that would be a rewarding project to do. I'm tempted to do something myself similar to that. And I have a 3D printer, so maybe that should be like something that I'm going to do. Okay, so now we're going to decouple these side tanks because they are pointless to us. There we go. I will just give ourselves a quick nudge away from them. We will deploy the fairing to reveal the space station that I'm trying to take to the moon. We are going to make orbit, and I'm almost certain we're actually going to be able to get this space. What a catastrophe! But I think we've managed to save it. I'm going to use some of the RCS. I don't think this space station actually has any RCS, which is a bit weird. We're going to have to add RCS modules to the space station. Right, here we go. So, even though we had the mid-air calamity, by shutting off certain engines and transferring fuel, we've got this to orbit. And we've still got about half the fuel left in the first stage, let alone the second stage. So now we're going to get this to the orbit of the moon and set up our first moon space station. Right. The first stage is highly unlikely to make the trip all the way to the moon, but it'd be nice if we could get the second stage and take it all the way there. I think I've done quite well there. I'm a little bit proud of myself for recovering that. I feel like I've redeemed, like, not double checking having an antenna on the moon base. It did when I first built it, or when I sent the other one. Actually, let's pause the game. Right, we have not lost a Kerbal this series so far, and I really, really don't want to lose one. Look, the one that we lost with the Kerbals on had the antenna. We're taking Kerbals to the moon in a brand new moon base. In 3, 2, 1. I think this is the first time we've ever used the last time twice. We're going to probably come into this crater, to be honest. So I'm rerunning the last time to check to see if it had an antenna on it. Do the final
it did. Look,
there's the antenna RCS. Right on the top. At 10 kilometers up, I'm going to start the burn, or 11. So, Jack and Mac, that was on purpose. We was having a look. I was having a look at the footage there from last time, and basically, what's the matter, chat? You can hear me, right? Yeah, I did that deliberately, Jack. So as I was explaining, I was rerunning the last time video because on that moon base I wanted to check to see if there was an antenna on it. You heard me twice. Okay, it's because one was me on the recording, one was me, and your stream is really delayed. Oh, okay. So yeah, it was on the original craft I was trying to land, so I don't know why it was on the replacement. It wasn't on the replacement craft. Let's resume our flight here. So Mr. Beantown says, you have enough fuel to completely get to orbit again. Yeah, maybe. But maybe we can even... the first stage doesn't have anything with it. Like, it doesn't have any intelligence. But let's get this space station closer. Oh, it's a little bit off. Right, so I'm going to... Oh my goodness, without RCS this thing just won't move. Actually, I tell you what we'll do is we'll ditch the first stage, because that's going to make it a lot more difficult to maneuver this thing. So we don't need this fuel. Oh, the second stage is partially out of fuel. I think I did that on purpose because I knew I didn't need it all and I can transfer it in. I remember that now. We empty the first stage, so we're just going to empty the first stage before we ditch it. Yeah, it was a good job I checked, wasn't it? I don't know if we've got enough fuel to completely fill up the second stage, but the idea is that there was going to be... there's always one tank at least. So we got, I think, 2.5 tanks of fuel? Or are we actually going to get 3? Well, there's half. Yeah, nearly managed to fill it up. If we hadn't have had the disaster on the way up, we definitely would have been able to refuel the second stage. So let's now undock. So we decouple from the first stage. There we go. So now this will be easier to turn around and sort out. So the idea is that we need to bend this orbit so it's nice and level for our lunar space station. So we are going to get the second stage there. It is going to have a lot of fuel on it. How much fuel it's going to have left, I'm not sure. Is that making it worse? Yeah, it's making it worse. Silly me. Right. Here we go. Oh no. Oh, I got it right in the first place. Guys. What a calamity. We don't want our space station to be in a polar orbit. We want our space station to be in a very standard orbit. Come on. Okay, so let's have a look. I think if we come part way through our journey, this might be easier to manipulate. So let's just do a little prograde or a little retrograde burn and just get this space station in orbit, and then we'll have 2 space stations, which will be fantastic. Then we'll have to build a space station and send it to Minmus without blowing up the rocket. I think if I hadn't have blown that rocket up, I could have easily sent that somewhere else. Maybe we'll have to put one of these space stations in orbit of the moon, in orbit of the sun. That would be cool. Maybe try and do a gravity assist from the moon, or something like that. Just trying to make some trajectory adjustments. Whoa! Why is that twisting it like that? Okay. I'm a little bit confused. Yeah, I don't think I'd need the gravity from the moon. It's a relatively small gravity well as well. Okay, that seems to have leveled it out a little bit. Why can't I get this right? It keeps twisting. Maybe it's because I'm not pushing it enough. We're coming in quite low, so I'm going to try and... That's the opposite of what I want. Always that's the anti-normal. I wanted the normal. I can see it in the background here that we are well off the actual line, but to be honest, just the fact that we're getting this thing to the moon is a miracle. With the fact that we had that rapid unplanned disassembly in orbit. Look at that. There we go. That's what I'm after. That's much better. I mean, it contacts with the surface, so I am going to have to make some adjustments, but at least it's actually coming in at the right angle now. I am surprised, but I've managed it. Right, I think what we'll do is we'll have this thing orbit at like 40 kilometers-ish. So we come round, we enter the sphere of influence of the moon, and then there we go. Our space station is nearly in orbit of the moon. And we can extend the solar panels on the command module and the antenna on the command module. We could probably even turn all the lights on. Turn them all off though. I'm not going to do that right now. Right now we're going to circularize the orbit. Is that build circle around the circle? Is that big circle around the moon the circle of influence? No, that's ComSat 2 and ComSat 1. So, looks like we've got this pretty even. We do need to go forward in time slightly to be able to do this neatly. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why, but ComSat 2 and ComSat 1 at the moon are quite close together. I might put a ComSat 3 in over here, just so it's so we've got better coverage at the moon. For the most part, we don't tend to have a problem. We don't tend to have a problem normally. Just realised I've got no indication of... Oh wait, there. That's how long I've been live. So I've got all new dashboards compared to when I normally stream. So there's a lot for me to take in and sort out here. Okay, let's see if we can fix this. So that's 41. That's 39.3. So at 39.3 we need to go just a touch prograde. And then we could get it in a nice 40-40 orbit of the moon. And we know we're not going to crash into anything else. What we could try and do is that TR second stage that we're not using, we could bring that to the space station. Use it to refuel the space station. That'd be good, wouldn't it? We still need to plant a flag on the moon. We are really, really low on monopropellant now. But we shouldn't really need it. We've got SAS. It's just rotating a space station is not the easiest thing in the world to do. So what have we got there? 41. So we want to be retrograde. We want to bring it down to a 40-40 orbit. Okay, here we go. We're going to just lead just 1 kilometer off. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and... There we go. Couldn't be much more perfect. So now that is whatever we're calling this, we're going to say. It's a bit difficult to see. Let's turn the lights on. So this bit over here, we're going to open up the service bay and we're going to say, there's the probe. We're going to say control from here. And we're going to rename the vessel. And this is, I can't remember what the name of the space station is, so we'll just put Moon Space Station. And then I might rename it later to something better. But for now, at least we know that's our space station around the moon. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll disconnect this docking port and reconnect it. So we'll do that. We'll go into docking mode. So I think we can set that as the target. Try and redock. Can we redock? Will it not let us redock? KSP with a controller, absolute mad lad. Yeah, I haven't got it set up so I can do any of the docking for some reason. There we go. So I wonder how far away you have to be in order then to count as a redock. There we go, done it. Turn the RCS off. Should redock? Or have I done it? Did they just bump? I'm a little bit confused. We haven't got a massive amount of monopropellant left to try this. Tell you what we'll do is we will we'll come away. So can I even... Are we attached? What's going on? Can't even see properly. Right, okay. RCS. Control from the docking port. Control from here. No, it's like it's just half stuck on. Okay, let's come out of docking mode and give it a blast with the engine. I mean, they are still two separate, but that's like not docked. There we go. There we go. They've separated now. They've separated now. I'm going to just concentrate for a second, folks, okay? There we go. Right, folks. Sorry about that. I had to concentrate for a moment to get that to connect back up. I'm not quite sure. Press space to go into rotation mode. Space by default is stage. So that is probably terrible advice. I'm not 100% sure about that. Okay, so I managed to fix it. Our periapsis and our apoapsis. Okay, so we're a little bit off on that. I should probably fix it. So let's just fix that quickly. So we're going to warp to there. And we need to do a tiny retrograde burn. We're almost perfectly retrograde as is. So let's come out of docking mode. That'll do. That's it. We're sorted. We've got 40, 40, sorry. Right then, let's find that other spaceship then. So let's go to the tracking center. Real fella's got to go. All right, thank you very much, Real fella. See you soon. And let's go and have a look. So we've got the Buzzard 5 heavy debris. It's debris, so we'll terminate it. Then we've got Buzzard 5 ship landed. So let's fly that and rename it if necessary. So this is our moon base that was successful but didn't satisfy the contract. So we can rename this Moon Base 1 and then go back to the Space Center. Oh, not in docking mode. Okay. I see. I do need to double check the controls to make sure we get it all right. And then let's have a look. So then we've got loads of flags. We've got some debris over here, which we will recover. We've got a TR9 second stage orbiting the moon. We've got Moon Base 1 here, which I think is... What is that? Is it just trash from our crash? Yes, this is the broken one. As is that. So we'll get rid of both of them. We don't need them. So that terminate, that terminate. So now we have a moon base. Didn't successfully do the contract, but we have a successful moon base. We have a space station. Let's turn the flags off. There we go. That's easier. And we also have a second stage which we can fly and potentially hook up to our moon base to provide with fuel. How much fuel's on board of this? Let's have a look. Not a massive amount. Has it got a docking port? It has got a docking port. Oh, it hasn't got RCS. Alright, we'll just get rid of it. If it hasn't got RCS, we can't really dock very well, if at all. So we're not going to bother. Second stage, terminate. So there we go. That is all that done. What I suggest we do now is we add a lab to each of them. So let's get a lab module up and running, shall we? So to do a lab module, I'm going to open up the Space Station Part 1. We're going to take off the what's that bit called? The crew quarters or living quarters. We're going to take off the command module. Is this going to need... Yeah. We don't need the command module, so we'll keep this section for now, because this is kind of like the template for everything. And then in the science section, We can put a mobile processing lab in. What did that disconnect from? So I want to... There we go. There we go. I figured it out in the end. Now, the mobile processing lab, I think what we'll do is we'll actually put some nodes on the end of that. Seems like a good thing to do. Yeah, they need a Kerbal inside, but we'll get one there at some point. We've got enough Kerbals at the minute. And then I think what we'll do is we'll actually make, like... Should we send this up as it is, or should we send it with a science bay? Because we've got these payload service modules, and I think that would potentially be good. There's a shroud that you can take away, and I think that would probably be good. But I don't know... Where's the adapters? Adapters are in... let's see, structural? We've got the structural tubes. We don't want robotics right now. It would... Oh, hang on. Where are all the adapters gone? Are they in aerodynamics? No. Payload? Coupling? I've lost the adapters. Are they in oh, we've got all sorts of new stuff now, haven't we? We've got the mobility enhancers. Well, I don't know what that is. It's a cargo part. Can be placed inside inventories. Right, I'm going to go through this logically. It's not in pods. The adapters that I'm looking for are not in fuel tanks. They're not in engines. They're not command and control. In structural, there are some... Oh, there it is. I'm just ridiculously blind. So does that fit on... No, it doesn't fit. Although we could still probably do that. Let's do that anyway. So... I'm just trying to think of how to fit the science experiments to this lab. Oh, I think I've had an idea. What if I do that? And then we can just put ladders in. So if we start with the big one, will that go in? Can I get this into a quadrant? Maybe. It's a bit big, isn't it? It is going to take up a lot of room. Actually, but I kind of like that placing. I mean, there's a metal bar there, so maybe not quite like that. I mean, it looks like it needs to go over that way and over this way by one. I don't know where that is. Possibly also needs rotating. Yeah, it does. There we go. There we go. That's why I was struggling. Yep, there we go. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. Won't it unbalance it? To a point, Yes, Brandon, it will. Make sure it has a docking port on both sides. I mean, there's a docking port up here, so we can still connect things to it. And then I guess we don't want the science storage thing, do we? So we can just actually just put the other experiments in and around. So we don't want the surface scanning module. We can put like all these bits of equipment down here on the shelves. The delay is so bad. Oh, okay, how strange. I'm pretty sure this atmospheric scan only works in atmosphere. I'd need to double check that. Let's get this the right way round. There we go. And then we've got the surface scanning module. I don't know if that's going to be any good for us, but I will put it on anyway. Survey scanner. That is humongous. That is going to be an extra module we put on later. And then we want this boom. I mean, oh. See, I don't know if we can just turn the shroud on and off all the time. Look at that boom. Isn't that hilarious? I love it. To the point where I think we'll have to. Just because I think it'll look good. There we go. I think what we'll do though is we will see where these ladder runs are. We'll see if we can have a ladder that extends beyond that so that they can come up and down this section as well. I think that one's too big actually, so let's get rid of that. Right, which way is that ladder going to extend? Right, rotation. So first things first, it wants to be stuck upright. Next thing, it wants to be turned round this way, so it's actually facing the right way. Then we want to make sure it's all in line with these ones. It looks like it is. So the idea is they should be able to use this ladder to continue moving. Okay, we'll give that a try. We'll put a Kerbal in there, we'll get them out and give that a try. They should be able to climb up there. How on earth does that fit? What are you talking about, Brandon? How does what fit? Zoop. Yeah, we can test it when it's on the ground. That's not a problem. It might fall over though, I don't know. I think, is that all the science experiments that we can put in this? So we've got the temperature probe, we've got the thermometer, yeah, we've got that. What's this scanning arm? Scan surface features. I think there's a medium scanning arm and then a light scanning arm. And this is starting to look something a bit ridiculous, but if we can put the scanning arm like in here. Ooh. That looks interesting. You can't use the arm in space. Well, if we can't use the arm in space, we'll get rid of that. I thought you scanned in space for ores. But I think then that's everything. Oh, hang on, the mystery goo. almost forgot the mystery goo. Let's put the mystery goo in here. We're only going to have one of them. And let's see. Oh, it's for rovers. Okay. Oh, I just picked up this. What about the surface scanning module? Is that from? Is that on space stuff as well? I don't know. Right, I've got a funny feeling that we won't be able to reach this. Whatever that is. I don't know what it is. But whatever it is, I've got a funny feeling we won't be able to reach it. So I'm moving it around. I've ended up with a ladder on both sides, which I guess is fine, actually. So let's be bold. We'll get one of our scientists. J-Bait, you can get in the lab. We'll save this as Space Station Science. There we go. I think you use it to see good landing spots for landers. Alright, okay. I do need to do a little bit more research. There's launch anyway. It has no control. I don't know if we'll be able to manipulate the ladder. Hopefully it doesn't fall over and explode. Well, it hasn't fallen over. Can we manipulate the ladder? No. Can J-Bay EVA? Yes. Can J-Bay manipulate the ladder? Yes. Can J-Bay continue to climb up using that ladder? Yes, very nice. Can J-Bay reach all the science equipment from that one spot? Yep, perfect. The idea is that you'll be able to go on a spacewalk, activate the science gear, and then get back in again. I like that. Now, the question is, the band scanner is definitely for stations. The question is, do we want that science equipment on a space station? I say yes, because then we can get rid of the science satellites. They're annoying me a little bit. But this is a science module. What we'll do is we'll recover the vessel and we'll tweak it a little bit and put it on top of a rocket. Yeah, I think so. So just shout out in chat if you think I'm missing any of the science equipment on this module. Okay, because as far as I can tell, we've got all the science stuff we want. The lab only produces science if you put data into it, Brandon. So you put like one item of data in, depending on your scientists, it might produce 5 science. So it's not completely passive. The band scanner. Band scanner. Oh, there's the infrared telescope, which is huge. That's it. You process data into science. I think we're all right then. It can be used. So this scanning module can be used as. You know what? I'm gonna have a quick Google. KSP science wiki modules. Here we go. Let's have a look. Yep, here we go. Table of science modules. So we've got the mystery goo observation, which we've got. Temperature scan, which we've got. Atmospheric pressure analysis, we've got. Materials study, we've got. Seismic scan, which we have got. Atmosphere analysis. So atmosphere analysis and atmosphere pressure scan, we've got both of them. The infrared telescope, which I don't think we're going to use. The the magma meter for the boomy stuff. Yep, we've got that. And the gravity scan from the Graviton Gravitor detector, which we haven't got yet. So that's one module that we can't add. So let's just double check the infrared telescope. To gather observational data near celestial bodies and to track objects, it must be in orbit of 250k or higher. I feel like that this is going to be a dedicated item. So this infrared telescope, we're going to have to do something for that one separately. But there we go. That's this bit sorted. What we need to do is get some, like I said, lighting on there. And whilst the Kerbals can come up either side, I don't think it's really that good of an idea for them to do so. This has no electrical abilities, but it doesn't need it because it's going to feed off the space station. So I think what we might do is actually add some lighting strips. Seems like a good idea. No, I don't like that. What we got here? Spotlight, dome light. I think the navigation lights will help. The starshot things are fireworks. No. Oh, right, okay. That sounds like it could be fun. Maybe we'll have to take something out to the launch pad and take a look. I think what we'll do is we'll add a number of these lights here around the edge. Like loads. And like this. And we'll take this out at night and hopefully this whole bit up here will be lit. And then I guess really it'd be a good idea to have one there and one here as well. Now we are going to have to temporarily add a load of battery to this just so we can test it. So let's do that. And we'll go outside. We don't need anybody on board, I don't think. Well, J-Bay's staying in there anyway. Launch anyway. The small ones have 8 shots. The big ones have 32. Cool. I don't know if it is useful. It certainly sounds fun. Okay, so let's have a look. Lights. Do they turn? Oh, we haven't got any control over the lights. Okay, we're going to have to put like a probe on the back of this. On the top or something. So if I do this bit, flip it round, put it on the top of there, pop a probe on top, we're going to have control. That probe can have the power on it. Yeah, there we go. You can actually customize them. What I would like on this space station is a massive robot arm. I don't know why. I just like it. Okay, so in theory, yeah, look, we can turn these lights on now. It looks like we get the correct illumination. What time of day is it? It says warp to sunrise, but the sun's... I tell you what, let's just warp to nighttime. Just so we can check this out at night. Okay. Where's all the power went, didn't it? Oh dear, I should have turned the probe off or something. We're going to have to put some solar panels on this for testing purposes. There we go. Let's try again. You can overclock them using a controller glitch. Okay. I did add batteries, Brandon, but the probe sapped all the power out of them while we was waiting for the sun to transition. So I extend a couple of solar panels like this. Then in theory, while the sun transitions, we won't lose any power. Then it's night time, we can turn the lights on and check the effectiveness. So it looks like these up lights are doing their job around here to be able to see what we're doing. We can extend the ladder. We can transfer crew. So J-Bay can come up here. We should be able to see because of the lights. Yeah, this all works really nicely. I mean, it's got a silly thing on the top, but we should be able to nip out, grab some science, and nip back in again. Now the question is, do we launch this with a Kerbal on board? The answer is no. You do not launch parts like that with Kerbals on board. It is a silly, silly thing to do. We did no, not egg. The answer is not yes. Okay, so this is all good. This is ready to go up to the space station. We want to send one to our space station and then one to the moon. So what we might do is we'll lift one up to the space station and then we'll lift another one up to the space station, refuel, and then go on to the moon. So we'll save that. We'll open up the Buzzard 5. Then we will get the science station and merge it. Pop it on top, as always. And then we will just strut that up a little. That should do its job. Then we can build our fairing. Now this fairing doesn't need to come out much, but we'll give it a little bit of a... There we go. There's our fairing on our Buzzard 5 for our space station module. So hopefully we can... How much is this? 81,000 to take this up. But hopefully it'll be fantastic. So let's... I don't see any reason why I can't just launch this. I mean, the fairing wants to pop. That wants to go. Engine. Yeah, let's do it. So this is the one that's going into Kerbin orbit, not in... I just thought, have we got enough fuel in the second stage on this version? Do we have RCS? The answer with the RCS question is no. No, we do not have RCS. We do have the fuel, though. So let's recover the vessel and do that again. Get it right. We're going to upgrade this so it has RCS inside the Buzzard 5. Bit of loading time. Right, so we'll just delete the fairing, disconnect the module, then we'll come down here and pop the top off, have a look inside. So we've got a bit of batteries in there. I think we could probably do an upgrade on this actually. So we can remove the bottom, take the reaction wheel off and put a new version of the reaction wheel on. Does that actually stick out the bottom a little bit? It does. Ah, okay. Well, let's just adjust that. There we go. There we go, it doesn't stick out now. And then we can put the bottom of the spacecraft on there. swap out the batteries for better ones, because we've got new technology since all this is kicked off. So since we did first design this rocket, we've definitely got new technology. So let's put a couple of big batteries on there now rather than small batteries. And then we need RCS tanks, or I should say monopropellant. We'll put a circle of monopropellant in, and maybe we should go with the small batteries just to make it fit better. Oh, I like that. You should use a large probe core. Well, what probe cores have we got? I mean, I don't know what you mean by large probe cores, because we haven't got many options for probe cores there. But that's given us the RCS we need. We can put that back on top. And then we can put the command and control bits on. So 4 there. And just down here. 4 there. Now let's just double check. Is that engine properly fixed to the bottom? Yes, it is. Okay, so this is the fixed up Buzzard 5. We've added RCS and we've just fixed it up a little bit. So I'll save that. Put our module on top that we're taking up to the space station. Structurally link it on. Like that. Add our fairing. I love how these fairings end up looking like the ends of a missile or something like that. There we go. And we can say this is the Buzzard 5 plus Space Station Science module. There we go. The larger ones have more control. Yeah, well, I've put the larger SAS, the larger reaction wheels on it. So we haven't got a better one at the moment, a better probe core. Now let's have a look. We're going to launch this when the space station 1, comes over here so that we can try and meet it first time. I don't think I've done that in this Let's Play before. I don't think I've managed it. And we're probably going to have to do it at night. But let's give it a go anyway. We should have enough electricity to keep control of this thing. So, SAS on, throttle to maximum. And we're going to give this launch a go. If this goes well, we can put the same thing on top of a different craft and send the module to the moon. 3, 2, 1. There we go. I didn't actually check the thrust to weight ratio. But never mind. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have checked the thrust to weight ratio. But I didn't. So hopefully the idea is that as we get closer up, the space station will pass overhead and we should be able to just meet it perfectly. So hopefully this won't be too top heavy because of all the fuel in the bottom. So the probe cores aren't that massive. Just throttling back for a few kilometers. Electrical charge is perfectly fine at the moment. We're about to lose the solids, and when we lose the solids, that's when we really push this thing. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and there we go. So we're going to bring this over. We're 25 kilometers up now. think that should about do it. We're high enough where that fairing can be deployed. So fairing deploy now. There we go. It's a bit dark, but there's not much we can do. And we're going to try and get this into an orbit. Whoa, steady. Now I think the space station orbits at 100, so we can actually set that as our target. Yes, we need to push this out so it meets it. You guys can see that. So here we are, there's the Buzzard 5. Here's the space station. And we're going to try and push everything out so that they all align perfectly. I don't think that's ever going to happen though, is it? I don't know. At the moment, we're looking pretty good. We are starting to run out of fuel on the first stage, but overall we're doing okay. We're starting to get our... You are this far away from the space station. So there is an intersect. And it looks like we're actually going to be ahead of it. So I deployed too early. I did. I deployed too early. I deployed... Separation of 40 kilometers there, though. We do still have to actually make orbit though, so let's throttle up. And then lose the first stage and ignite the second stage engine. Bye bye first stage. So I think what we'll do is... The space station isn't that far behind us. I'm pretty sure in one orbit we'll be able to meet up with it. Or even half an orbit. It's only 64 kilometers behind us. I didn't do too bad. I didn't do too bad. So let's prograde this out. We'll make orbit, no problem. We've got loads of fuel. And again, this is going to be another craft that we can attach to the space station, so we can do a refueling at the space station if we want to. So here we go. And because we're ahead of the space station, we need to push our orbit out a little bit further so that when we come back round, we will meet. And that's happening here with these orange ones, I think. Is it? Let's see, how far behind is it? It's only 61 kilometers behind. I don't believe that that's correct in terms of how far we need to go. Let's warp until we go past those orange markers, because then that's going to give us a bit more of indication of what's going on. Space station is only just behind us. Oh, here we go. This is our intersect coming in now. There. 1.7 kilometers. I'll take that. That will do. And we've also got an intersect there of separation of 19. But that's good. That's good. So we've managed to get within 60 kilometers of the space station before we've even managed to do anything. And now, with one adjustment, we're going to get very close. So we're going to set the space station as our target. Oh, I think it already is. So then if we just retrograde ourselves to that target, just burn off the difference. That will allow in our orbits. And then we're just going to point ourselves at the target, burn towards it, and then dock up. It's as easy as that, folks. And then the space station will have a brand new module. Whoa, steady. Just went past the point I wanted. Come on. Come on, here we go. Nice and gentle. Now it's 2.4 kilometers away, so I am going to give it quite a wallop on the fuel. On the throttle, I should say. I think about 50 meters per second should do it. And then we're going to come into the space station pretty hot then, aren't we? What I might do is I might send the second lab module to the lunar, so the Mooner space station, but before next time. So then we've got 2 space stations, one round the moon, one round Kerbin, with all the equipment that we need. Okay, it's a bit difficult to see. I think we're in the dark. We are in the dark. Can I open up? I'm going to extend the solar array, because if we lose control because of power issues, then I can fix it. Right, it's all the way over there. It's only 100 away. I think what we'll do is we will just turn around again and do a very gentle burn towards it, and that will be our last burn. My gamer, hey! What we're working on, we're adding our first module onto our Kerbin space station. It's a science module with a lab that we've just managed to unlock tonight. So I think, there we go, we're heading towards the space station. Hopefully we don't crash into it. We're going to get a bit close here. Oh, there we go, we're fine. We're going to have to work out where we want it as well. Right, okay. We're fantastic indeed. I think what we'll do is we'll wait until we're in the sunlight. Or should we just dock up? So let's have a look. We've got the living quarters here, a connection module, and the command module there. I think we should put the science quarters like... I mean, we've got this tug here, which is a terrible tug. We'll get rid of that later. We've got another module there that was just stuck on. I think, yeah, we'll put it on this top one. And then the next largest module can come out the bottom when we fix that. I like that. Right, okay, so let's do that. To do that, I'm going to turn RCS on. And I'm going to start using the keys. So I'm going to try and orientate us. So that the right bit is facing the right way. Or at least close. Then we're going to go into docking mode. We need to lift it up a little bit. Now what I don't want to do is smash into that solar panel, but hopefully I won't. Fingers crossed I won't. We also need to go over sideways. I think that's probably high enough up, so I'm going to try and get rid of that. We'll make that docking port our target. And now I have to figure out how we're going to bring it over. There we go. We're coming in at, I think, 0.4 meters per second. Slightly wonky, actually. So I'm just going to come out of docking mode for a moment. Try and straighten us up a second. That's better. Line it up a bit. Gone past it slightly there, but only just. I think we're about ready to lower it. Looks good to me. To turn the RCS off and try and let the docking ports do their jobs. There we go. I think that's got it, hasn't it? Oh my goodness, this is... It looks like it's nearly there. My goodness. Yay! We did it! Hello, hello, good evening. Good evening, Darkweave. We've just added our science module. I'm just going to do a little bit of alignment angle for this docking port. There we go. Is that too far? That actually looks like it might be perfect. No, ever so slightly too far, maybe. Okay, there we go. So we've got 2 vessels with liquid fuel. Now this one up here, this one hasn't got RCS on, so as soon as that's empty, we'll undock it and trash it. This tug down here, it's okay, but we need one with the grabber on the end. Oh no! No. No. Turn engine off. Shut down engine. RCS on. Let's stabilize this. Okay. Wow. That was a little bit of a misclick. Good job it wasn't much though. Our orbit is still acceptable. Okay, so there we go, folks. We have put a space station around the moon, and we've upgraded the Kerbin space station. It's currently got 2 vessels docked at it. We now have a science lab, so we're going to actually have to bring somebody up here to do the science and all of that good stuff. And we've got the command module sticking out there. Yeah, I like this. This is good. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do next to the space station, but we do need to get the same module over to the other space station as well. So that is going to have to wait for another time. Let's just head back to the space center and see what the situation is on everything else. Let's see what we've got going on. research and development, we can't really afford to do any more unlocking, I don't think. No, we can't. And I really want... What was it I want next? These Rover Max model wheels to actually make proper rovers. These wheels are so much better. The impact tolerance of the wheels we have... I don't even know where they are. Where are the Rover wheels? No, that's not it. Oh, here they are. So the tolerance on them is 20 meters per second, where these ones are 50 meters per second. So it's more than double the tolerance on those wheels. So that'll be much better. I guess we should go to Mission Command and actually see what the situation is on a lot of this stuff. We still need to plant a flag. And we still need to do that surface outpost. But what I'll do is we put an outpost on there. I'll put a new outpost on there that has an antenna, so the contract goes, and we'll plant a flag. And then what we got? Science data from space around the moon. Well, we can do that right now. Then we've got mapping, rescue, atmospheric scans, detect comets. What's this? After you accept this contract, you can view the rover in the tracking station, evaluate the missing parts, and make a plan to move it to the target waypoint. You'll need to send an engineer to attach parts to the rover. Oh my goodness, that sounds like a really interesting mission. Something I don't think that we're really kitted out for right now. We've got good money, we've got good reputation, we do need the science, but hopefully with the stuff that we've got going on now, we should be good. We should be good. Okay, let's just do that science data from space around the moon. Tracking station. And we want to go to Moon SciSat 1. And I don't know whether we're in the light or not yet, but we'll see. Yep, here we go. So this is one of our first sort of satellites. We didn't even have the solar panels that extended. So we'll log the temperature and transmit that back. And that's that contract done. There's 40 grand just for nipping over here and doing that. So like I said, we've successfully got a moon base, but it didn't complete the contract, so I'll put a new one down. We've got a space station around the moon. We've upgraded our space station around Kerbin. I feel like we're in a really good position now to start doing regular journeys between different places. What we'll need is some sort of moon lander that can go from the space station down to the surface and back again, so that we can do science experiments, collect samples, and then come up and down. That'll be good. Once we get that space station a little bit more up and running, every time we deliver a new component, we can probably have more stuff. What we could actually do with the space station is actually just put some tanks up there, permanent tanks, like for fuel, rather than just having loads of second stages attached to it. So if we go and get the Buzzard 5, we could change this section here so that instead of it being fully automated, we put the automated bit at the bottom and just make the top bit a tank. So it's just and we can leave it empty actually to lift it up there. So we'll think about that, look at the options, and we'll get to it next time. Hope you're enjoying this series. I really am. Remember, even if you're not watching live, put all your thoughts, ideas and questions down in the comments section. And remember, we've got a brand new series of RimWorld starting on Thursday. I'm smiling. I'm looking forward to that. Above the line says I've started to code in C++. I would advise, if you're looking at C++, maybe consider looking at one of the .NET flavors, or maybe even consider looking at C# instead. But come over to the Discord and have a chat. I will see you all soon. Remember, thoughts, ideas and questions down in the comments on the YouTube videos and all that, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching, thanks for chatting. It's been good hanging out with you tonight, and goodbye.